Hello. In today's video, we're going to be talking about using your slip feather jig that you made last week. We made a slip feather jig last week. There's a video over here, you should go watch it. And we're going to be talking about how to use that slip feather jig, how to lay out your box so you get everything all lined up pretty. So you got a nice pretty box. That sounds kind of funny. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lay out everything and we're going to cut everything. We're going to show you how to clamp in your box in the jig. Then we're going to go over how to make slip feathers, just using the table saw. I'm going to show you a little jig I made a long time ago on how to cut multiple feathers at once. We're going to put all the electronics in the box and hopefully I'll get all the wires right for the light bulbs because I didn't take a picture of it like I should have. I forgot. We're going to go mount the plate to the wall and I'll show you how I do that. And then we're going to try to attempt to put the box up there with all the lights and try to hook up all the grounds and the hots and the colds and try to stuff everything in the wall and hopefully it works. And then we're going to flip the switch and see if I burn the house down. And that's what's in today's video. So if that sounds like a good time to you, let's get to the video. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to figure out what we want to make the layout. And I think I'm going to come in a 1/2 inch and do the top and bottom like this size right here. And then the middle, we're just going to set it at a 3/4 inch depth. So it'll be 2 of the same and then one bigger one in the middle. But now what we have to do is I have to lay all this out. So now I'm going to give you the simple version of how we're going to do this. Blade cuts right here. You see how it passes through there? So what we're going to do now is we're going to mark where the blade sits. The cut is here. I'm just going to mark straight up. Flip it over. We're going to do this side now. That's pretty good. Now we're going to come do this side here. This side here. I'm just going to drop it over the side here too. So this part of the box, which is the front, is going to be a 1/2 inch beyond here to that face right there. So we're going to slide that in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over a 1/2 inch. Now we could do that 2 ways. We can mark a 1/2 inch on here and just kind of line it up that way. And then what I would do is take a block and put it in here and cut this to fit. So we should probably kind of lay this out first, right? Just because. Okay, can you see that now? That's how basically going to be lined out. 1/2 inch deep one's here and a 3/4 inch one in the middle. If I set the blade to 3/8, that's what it's going to look like. This is centered at 1 1/32 of an inch. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do this, and then we can do it the hard way later. I've got this lined up with that 1/8 inch mark. Okay, I'm going to take a picture of this so you can see it. See if I can take a picture of this here. So I'm going to take this block here, I'm going to cut it to 3 1/4 inches, and I'm just going to stuff it in here, and I'm going to butt this into that. This is the easiest way to do it without making fences. You take your block, just butt up against your fence, set this in here, and it lines up perfectly. And you can adjust your fence. If it's not right, you just pull your fence out a little bit, move your block. Put it back in here like this, you eyeball it, you go, hey, that looks pretty good. Or you can just move the whole thing at once until your pencil mark lines up with whatever you want. I'll take a picture of this so you can see how all this works. So you can set it to whatever you want. Set it and forget it. So if this block was bigger, it would be better. And if you can cut yourself a 45 block, look at that crazy looking thing. So if this was in here and you could have the fence out here at 5 miles and you can put this in like that, that's like 5 inches away. It could be anything really. But as long as that goes up against the fence, you hold this here and you can make the cut, you're good to go. It could be anything. This is just a piece of scrap that I had laying around from something, I have no idea. Now it is a good idea to block this out. Okay, so you have a spacer over here, so they're locked into place. So both sides are locked in. The other thing you could do is double stick that into place also so it doesn't wibble in case it goes back and forth and does strange things. I don't think it will, it might. No. I'm hitting the end down here. And the other thing we have to make is something to stop this. We can also put a stop mark here so you don't continue, because you don't need to continue farther than that. And the other thing you can do is put a block in here so when you go past that, it'll make a buzzing noise and you'll know, hey, stop. So if we want to hold that into place, we need something that's 5 1/4 inches wide. Look, I got a little MDF block. Okay, that's locked into there. Boom, that's where that's going to go. We can move this over just slightly. The wider these boards are, the better off you're going to be. So if you have a hunk of 8/4, that can help hold everything into place and you can clamp it up here too. That would be good. I'm going to pull this back here a little bit. I'm going to butt that into there. And when we put this spring clamp on, we're going to put it with a little downward pressure. A little downward pressure on your clamp that pushes it this way. So it actually makes your clamp push up this way, pushes that forward. And now that we have that into place, we should be able to make a cut and see what happens. I should probably screw this into place. I'll just try to stop. All right, once you go through, pull it out. That's what it'll look like. And now we just flip it around. We'll go the opposite direction, and it'll do the other side the exact same spot. See that? Boom. Now we just got to figure out the middle. So we're basically going to take that center line, line it up over here, put a stop block there, put that into place, and then just go ahead and clamp-a-roo it. I marked a center line on there, so you mark it there. You flip your square over and see if it's still in the center. If it is, you're centered. Okay, and we're just gonna eyeball this. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's blocked out, right? So that's gonna hold it in place. This side over here is up against the fence. You can move the fence in and out wherever the hell you want. And you can move this in and out here with the little clampy thing. You can make it taller so you can clamp 2 on there so it's really secure. And then this one over here just goes up against your fence and you lock it in place and you're good to go. Okay, let's see what happens. Should we raise up the blade? Let's raise it up a half a turn. I raise the blade 1/2 turn. Let the fun begin. All right, and there it is. Things are flying now. I wanted these to be a little smaller, but I think that looks good. And we didn't burn through. It did not burn through the inside at all. If you have a drum sander, it's best to drum sand these flat. You can't do it on a table saw, and that's why I did it on the table saw, because I wanted to make sure that everybody out there who didn't have a drum sander could do this. So you use your calipers, measure the thickness of your blade, and then start ripping this like a 1/16 wide and work your way into it till you actually get a piece that will slide into the slot. It's got to be in there kind of stiff. So this is my feather making jig. Just cuts little triangles. And basically what you do is you just put a piece in, the blade goes right to here. You make one cut, puts the angle on it, right? And you flip it over, make another cut. And you do that until you're done. So I got 12 of these to make. So I'm gonna bring the camera over here. I'll set you up so you can see it. I'll cut 12 or 13 of them and we'll go from there. So usually what I like to do is I like to take 3 of these and attach them together and cut all 3 at once. That way you can do a bunch of them at once. You're not just doing single cuts. So there's the line for the bandsaw blade. And you would just make one cut, right? Whoop, like that. And you're gonna stop, pull it out. And what's gonna happen, they're all gonna fall over here and we're gonna start chasing them off the end of the table. It's a very simple jig. You can see it, there it is. Here's a little push block right here. So I've already made one cut, so now we're just gonna do this, and here we go. Now, the only bummer about this jig is this hunk of Purple Heart I have there is a little shy of this. There's like an 1/8" lip. That's why they're all blown out like that. You see that, how they're blowing out? A little sandpaper will fix that up. What really matters is this back edge right here. Simple little jig. This is made super fast. I had to do something, and this is what I made. A lot of scrap wood. You could do it too. Piece of cake. Next. All right, so now I'm just gonna take these. I'm using 150. It's getting off the fuzz. Put them over there. Okay. There we have it. So we have all our slip feathers. And now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put glue in the slots. I'm gonna tap these into place. We're gonna use a little brush like this. I just cut the tip off of it and put like a little chisel tip on there. It's pointy. That actually helps. A little glue. This being oak, you wanna make sure you get enough glue in there. The glue will soak into the oak like a sponge. It'll just suck it up like a big sponge. The oak is very porous. We can put it on here too, I guess, a little bit. Okay, we got glue on there all the way around, all sides. There's that. They're all in there and now they're all done. We're gonna let this dry, then we're gonna edge sand these pieces off, sand it up, make it beautiful. We'll stain this whole thing, and I'll put a couple coats of finish on it, and we'll go install it. All right, so now we're back at it, and what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna use the bandsaw here to cut these real quickly, just to remove most of the material. Then I'm gonna belt sand it. I have an edge sander, but a lot of people don't have edge sanders, so I'm just gonna show you how to belt sand them. First, we're gonna cut these off. There we go. You can also cut these by hand if you want. If you want to use like a little Japanese saw or a dovetail saw or something, you can hack them off. Usually I just bandsaw them off and then hit them on the edge sander. Okay, we're gonna be very gentle. Run over the front a couple times. Keep an eye on it, keep your hands balanced. There's a whole belt sander video over there. If you wanna learn how to belt sand, there's plenty of them out there. I've made a couple myself. Okay, here we go. We're doing the little sneak up thing. That one's pretty good. Now we could do the back one. I bet you're wondering how we're gonna do the tall boys, huh? I'm gonna make you wait for that one. Whatever you do, don't do this. This would be bad. Put that in down. Alrighty. See that? Huh? Pretty good. They're not perfectly symmetrical. I've just noticed that. But it's gonna be up in the air. Whatever. This one we're gonna do laying flat. Clamping it in a position. might have to move the camera for this one. This one, we're gonna clamp like that. Gonna layer over on the side here, and away we go. Ready? Huh? Looks kind of cool. Now we'll do this side. You gotta bring it out far enough so you don't hit the handles with your belt sander. I've done that a bunch. You can see where I've hit it a couple times here. Not good. You know, I'm holding it and just flip it up on edge. Okay, make sure it's on there and start it, and here we go. A little bit more. Now we're gonna sand this whole thing with an orbital sander. All right, we have our 150 on there. We can do that. Now we're gonna kind of break these edges a little bit. Sand it by hand just slightly. Okay, and now I'm gonna ease these edges here. I'm just gonna take it, pull this down like this, just so they're not super sharp. We'll go over this in a second because I missed the center one being totally center. It's off by just a smidge, but I didn't really care at the time because, and I still don't really. It's not a jewelry box. Just a light box way up in the air. If this was something I was building a client, somebody who's actually paying money for, I would care. But it's just for me, and it's better than that ugly ass metal piece of poop that was up there. So, all right, there it is. You see that? Can you see it's off? This one's wider than that one is. See that? Okay, let's see if I can spin this whole thing around and see if you can see the grain match. All right, this is very awkward. Around the corner. Grain matches there. Okay, so the grain matches all the way around the corner, everywhere. And you can see where that chipped out right there, right? That's probably from me beating on it with the dead blow. And the feathers are off. You can tell, see? What we're gonna do now is I'm going to stain this. I got some Minwax stain, early American. But it's all been sanded up, it's ready to go. I'll stain her up real quick. It's kind of fun to watch people stain stuff. Like when they stain their shorts and stuff. Excuse me while I touch you down here. I'm gonna shake it up for a minute. I like to put sticks down when I'm doing this so it's not actually touching the MDF. 2 sticks. I'm just gonna put them down there. So we've already stained this. We're gonna get stain all over it, but that doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna start over here and go in a circular motion. Oh, it smells good. And you'll really see the color start to pop here. Go around in circles. And then go with the grain after you've gone around in circles. Now you can see what the grain looks like, right? Do a little bit of the back, a little bit more dippy. All right, we're just gonna let that sit for a minute while we're gonna do the front. I've got this little 1/4-inch lip here and you can't really see it yet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a little paintbrush, Harbor Freight paintbrush. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take this and we're gonna drop it right down the crack. I'm actually putting it down to the bottom of the crack. We're just gonna let it go through there, letting it soak in. See, it's all in there. I'm gonna wipe this down. And we don't care if we double dip the panel. It'll actually make the sapele look even better. Paint the inside. Now it has been stained everywhere, right? Double, triple check it. Now here's what we're gonna do. Paper towel for each hand. And here we go. Try to get all the stain off that you can. And while we're doing this, I'm also looking for glue that I might have missed. So there we go. There's the ends. It's very pretty. It's a beautiful piece of quarter-sawn red oak with some sapele in the inside. It kind of glows pretty good. We're gonna put 3 coats of catalyzed lacquer on here. I'm gonna spray the inside once and the outside 3 times, just so everything's sealed up. And then we're gonna put it all together, put the electronics in it, hang the bracket on the wall, and I'll finally have a light in the toilet so I can actually pee without having to use a flashlight. It's like the third world around here. Yeah, so the next thing you're gonna see me doing is putting the electronics in this after I put finish on it, and we'll go from there. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you in a minute. Here we go. The day has arrived. It has finally come. I finally got this damn light box done. And today we're gonna put the electronics in it. These little guys right here. I'm gonna try to figure out how all that goes back together. I should have taken a damn picture. So if you're taking things apart like this, take a damn picture. You know, everybody's got a cell phone. I took pictures of everything else. I'll put them up here. You know, oh look, there's the light up there. And there's the messy thing before I painted everything. But the important stuff I left out. When I pulled this off the wall, I forgot to take a picture of how the frickin' thing was wired up.
Super genius.
I'll figure it out. White to black, black to orange, green to yellow. That's the way it works, right?
Really?
You know? Crap. Could be a problem. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to tape these guys into place. So I'm going to take some of this gaffer's tape. I'm just going to push these on here and we're going to put gaffer's tape on there like that. just to hold them into place. What we can do later is get some 8/32 nuts and we'll bolt that down in there so they don't wiggle. Okay, those are in there. They're not wiggling. I'm gonna take some double stick tape and we're gonna attach these to the back here, just like so. And then I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna drill that out so I can screw that to the wall. I'm gonna time lapse this part. Ready, go? Okay, we have that done. We're using the speed tape today. And once this stuff dries, it sits on there for 24 hours or whatever, it's on there good. Take a little dead blow. That'll help make it stick. Oh, I screwed up the other side. Should have put them both on there. What a dummy. Well, hopefully this will still be okay. So that extra little 1/4 inch will push this off the wall enough so these screws will work. Because this is still gonna be mounted to the wall through these holes, screwed to the drywall, right into these lead anchors right here, these number 8 lead anchors. These work really good. I've used them a bunch of times. It'd be better if you can go into a stud, but this is just a light bar. Nobody's gonna be hanging off the damn thing or doing anything like that, hopefully. Sorry for the noise. My heater just kicked on because it's 58 degrees in the house. It's 58 degrees in here, and we're expecting more snow. All right, now we have the holes in the back, so I think we're done with this for now. Now I'm gonna attempt to put all these damn things in here. So the electronics have 2 pigtails here that are long and one that's short. I'm pretty sure the short one came right in the middle because that's where the electronics go. We have to feed these wires through this hole. The first thing you want to do is take your wires, pull on them and twist them clockwise. And for all you millennials out there, that means twist them to the right. All right, there we go. Got to feed the wires through the inside. I'm gonna stick these through the hole here. Now, I'm not an electrician, so if this blows up and catches fire, I wouldn't be surprised one bit. Me and electricity don't get along. So I took these and spray painted them. This is what it used to look like, all shiny and metallic. Antique brass something or other, I don't know, but there it is. It was a rust-oleum product. It's better looking than shiny chrome crap. I'm gonna get my install box. I'm gonna put it over here and put a blanket on it. So we got one in there. I'm gonna feed these guys in there. Now we gotta go mount this Johnson to the wall, hook up the wiring to this guy, try to slide these little things through these holes in the front, and I'll show you how I go about installing these guys too. I might as well, right? We're here, I'll show you how to do everything. That way when you're at home, you can do everything. Just don't follow my electrical crap, because I have no idea. I know a little bit about electrical, but not really. I think that's right. We'll find out. Welcome to the toilet. So we have our wire sticking through our back plate here. We've got a center line right there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and put it level up there so it kind of looks level. I'm gonna mark these holes out the best we can. Oh, poop. Now this thing is live, so we should have to be careful. So I'm gonna go up here, and drill a hole there, and we're gonna put one there. We're gonna install these guys right here. This bit here and that should be pretty close to the same. You can just drill those in if you want. Put a Phillips bit in there. Phillips screwdriver is right on there. And you just screw it into the wall. You can do that. I just like to pre-drill them. Before we go absolutely crazy, put the level on them, pretty level. And we're just gonna take these guys here and screw them in. I clutched them out just because I don't want them getting sucked into the drywall. It's good to get them as flush as you can. They're flush. So what I need now is some number 8 screws and a couple washers. Number 8 1.25" screws. I'm gonna just use fender washers. Anything longer than 1.25", you're gonna bottom out into your hunk of lead there and come out the tip. These are made for number 8s right there. All right, so we gotta squeeze those together, get them in there. Now I'm gonna screw these in by hand, actually. We're gonna level that out. I need a Phillips screwdriver. Screw that in. I'm gonna leave it a little loose so it still wiggles. Set this up here. Pretty freaking good right there. Just screw it in until it's snug. You see that? Level, snug. I didn't over tighten them. They're just in there snug. Now the hard part. And I don't like this part at all because it's electrical crap. I don't like dealing with it. I have to hook white up to the white. All the whites right here. We gotta hook the green up to this copper dude. And we gotta hook the black ones all up to that guy. I don't like any of it. So how am I gonna do that and not drop it? Maybe they'll all just hold together somehow magically. We're gonna get all that crap in there, but I'm gonna try to figure it out. Tuck it in there. All right, people. Now, I just tighten this damn thing up. All right, going to snug this up against the panel just slightly. Now, see if we blow up the place. All right, fart fan still work? Fart fan works. Look at that. We have lights, baby. Oh man, I can pee now. I could pee in peace. Hopefully it doesn't blow up in the middle of the night or catch fire somehow. So if an old carpenter can do this, you can too. Yeah, it looks good. Hasn't burned down the house yet. Fart fan works. Got a brand new fart fan. Painted the vent up here. We painted the entire room. Straightened the toilet back up. Cleaned all the stuff out. Took the guts out of it. Changed all the valves that were down here in my sink. Next thing we're going to do is build a mirror frame here. And we're going to put a floating shelf here that goes almost wall to wall. And I might put some L-shaped floating shelves that go in here on this side and over here. And then we're going to put a couple floating shelves over the toilet. And I think that's it. All right, everybody. Well, there you go. Sorry for the toilet noise, but I'm in the bathroom. Thanks for watching. If I could do it, you could do it. It's not that hard. Stay tuned for the next one. We're going to do the mirror frame. Thanks for everybody who subscribed. We're getting the website going slowly but surely. Once I get enough money, then I'll take a day and then actually work on it. Until then, we're going to keep going. Keep going. Never give up. And don't let things get you down. Don't get frustrated. Just learn by your mistakes and don't do them again. Onwards and upwards. All right, everybody. I'm going to flush the toilet and get the hell out of here. Ready? Here we go. It's done.
Subscribe now.
Look, right there. I have a halo. All right, everybody. Well, we're going to stop here for today.